Hi everybody, my name is Wendy and welcome to my craft room. This is my crafty update number 5. It's been a couple weeks I think since I last recorded. I've been busy trying to keep up with, which I don't know why I can't keep up. Anyway, that's another story. So anyway, today is October 24th, it's Friday. It's a chilly morning here in southwestern Ontario. Whoops, sorry. We did finally get fall. This week almost went into winter. Oh, it was cold and rainy. My daughter and I went to my granddaughter's soccer tournament for her school, and it was outside, and it was the coldest day we've had, I think, so far, and windy, and a little bit of rain. Just miserable. I think it took me like 4 or 5 hours to warm up that night. That was on Wednesday. So I've been shy about going outside ever since. Get enough of that already. Oh, I can't wait for winter. Anyway, so let me see. We'll start today with what I'm wearing. This is the Go Dynamo shawl by West Knits, Stephen West. This was last year's mystery MUSIKAL. I started it on October 3rd, 2024, and I finished it on November 20th. The yarns I used were, the purple was Estelle Superwash Merino, and the multicolors, the grays and blues, and even some pink. That was a cake of yarn, and the name was, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's Relin Garn. The colorway was just 1601. I got both of those at Mary Maxim last year, so they worked up really nicely. The only thing in the cake I found in some situations, it's a little splitty, so I have to be careful. I can catch that on things. It's nice in the, in the stockinette portions and even the brioche, but just in these lacy kind of things, a better yarn probably would have been a better choice. But anyway, you don't know. It's all a mystery, right? So speaking of mysteries, the mystery knit along this year is, what's it called? Oh, my mind went blank about what it's called. I'll put it in the box below. Oh, Mystery MUSIKAL. Clue 4 just released yesterday, and I am just like a third of the way through Clue 2. I always start these things, and they're a big knit. They're a lot of knitting, and I struggled a little bit with the brioche section this time, and it took me a few tries to get it, and then once I got it, I'd get very tired of doing it very easily, so I was doing other things as well. But anyway, it's looking nice. I'm loving the look of it. I'm sure there's no spoilers here because, like I say, week 4 just went out yesterday and I'm only on week 2. But week 1 is all these scallops. Very pretty. Oh, let me see. There we go. So you have like a garter section, a section that you fold down onto itself, a brioche section, an eyelet section, and then you build, so there's like 6 of these scallops. And now in Clue 2, we're doing these squiggly lines, and they do a lot of short rows. And see, this is the first squiggly line section, and then an eyelet row section. Okay. And then that's the next squiggly line section that I just finished. So I have to do another eyelet. And then I think there is 2 or 3 more squiggly row sections, and then that's it for clue 2. So clue 2 is actually straightforward, easy to follow knitting. It's just a lot of knitting. The colors that I'm using, the turquoise green, or like a dark teal, I believe that is Les Garcons in Mysterious Pigeon. No. It's Mysterious Ray, I think, or Mysterious Kevin, one of those. And then the green, the forest green, is the other member of the podcast of Needles at the Ready, Mysterious Ray or Kevin. I got mixed up which was which. The brown is also Les Garcons. Can't recall the color. Oh, I'll have to look it up. Very prepared, am I? Did I write it down last week? No. Oh, yes, I did. Well, I'll put all the information below, hopefully. And then the light color, that is by Green Button Jar, and the color is called Peony. Very pretty. These are, all these others are tonals, and this one is a little bit of a speckle in it. A little bit of variegation. Yeah, so I'm happy with the colors. I'm happy with how it's looking. But I am definitely team embrace your pace. So hopefully I'll have it done before the end of November, though. I'd be happy with that. So there's that yarn. It's speckly. Very pretty. Okay. Oops. That is WIP number 1. And that is a big commitment, but I have to say, although I get behind and sometimes find it challenging, it's very rewarding when you finish it. The finished product is beautiful, and I always learn something. I always learn little tips and tricks, and you know, I learned a lot about brioche this time. So I think I definitely need a lot of improvement in my brioche. So hopefully I'll try and find another brioche project in the future to really drive those skills home. Okay, the next WIP is, I just started the second sock. I'll show you the first sock in a minute under finished objects. So this is just the a third of the cuff. This is the Les Garcons Mysterious Pigeon, and the contrast color I'm using is Frankie Gray Fibres Sky High, and this is a test knit. The socks are called Beyond the Wardrobe socks, and the designer is Marie-Elyse Dugal, and she's on Instagram, and I just saw the call for test knitters on Instagram, and I put my name in and I got selected. So these are the socks. I'm doing the full color one, which is called, they're both called Beyond the Wardrobe, but the full color one is the winter to spring version, and the one with the stripes is the I think it's called the winter year round version. Yeah, very nice. So that I'd like to get finished this week coming up, so hopefully I'll have a full finished object for you next week with those socks. This stitch marker I got from Little Red Mitten. I purchased a kit from them. It was a, you got the book, Operation Sock Drawer, and then every month there was yarn to go with a pattern in the book. I'm still not finished those either. Well, I'll get back to those this winter. Okay, that is WIP number 2. WIP number 3, I just got started. I thought I'd give it a try. I've never knitted any toys or stuffies. I've always crocheted them. So I signed up for the Gnomes, this month Gnomes by Imagine Landscapes. The design is by Schira. This is Grumpkin. There's 2 gnomes, this Grumpkin and Nettle. So this is just the start of week 1. So I'm just using scrap balls of yarn. This is by a dyer in Nova Scotia, Elegantly Twisted. These other scraps are also from a dyer in Nova Scotia. She dyes all of her yarn with natural products, like botanicals and things. Natural U, I believe. And these were leftovers. I have more as well from a Advent from, let me see, the year before last. Yeah, so I'm just using up scraps for that. So that is WIP number 3. WIP number 4, I have shown part of this before. These are the 12 all-in-one flower squares for the jacket. And I did get the other 12 squares done using the Itty Bitty Stripes yarn, or Bitty Stripes, in the colorway Rainbow Mist. So there's different, there's 12. Some of them are pretty similar and some are quite different looking. But I think they'll all look nice with these squares. That's all I've gotten done on that one. That is called Patchwork, Crochet Patchwork Jacket by Yarnspirations. So this week I would like to, I know I need to do 4 squares with this yarn. So I'd like to get those 4 squares done this week and start the process of joining them together. And that is all the yarny WIPs. I'm going to do finished objects now. I have one finished object. This is my Lighthouse. It's like a 2-dimensional stuffed lighthouse. This is by 3 AM Grace Designs. I love her patterns. They're so cute. They're like kawaii figures and whatnot, but they're adorable. This doesn't have eyes. Most of her little things have eyes. But this was a part of the crochet challenge from Valerie's Cuddly Cat Crochet. The last time I drew, I picked number 56, which was crochet something that reminds you of an important event in your life. So this I picked because when I got out of high school, my very first big girl job was at the Coast Guard, the Canadian Coast Guard. And I can remember being so proud, and my parents were so proud. I wanted to be a secretary, and I got a job as a secretary at the Canadian Coast Guard. And I stayed there for 37 years, not in the same location, but with the Canadian Coast Guard, and I retired from there 6 years ago. And lighthouses have always had a special place in my heart. My dad was a sailor, so anything nautical is always very, very near and dear to my heart. So this is a good reminder of how excited I was when I got that first job. It was like a month out of high school. Back in those days, like, you could be ready for a job outside of high school. You didn't have to necessarily go to college or university. I mean, it depended on what you wanted to do, but I took all this secretarial type courses in high school, so I was ready to be a secretary. And I applied for the job, and I found out I applied on Friday or Thursday. I think I had my interview, or Friday, and I got a call later that day that I could start on Monday. So I had to go out and get some clothes, and I wore a dress and sandals and my purse, and I had to take the bus to work, and I just felt like such a big grown-up lady. And I remember I waiting at the bus, and I got on, with my lunch bag and my purse, and I got on the bus thinking I was all that, and it was a new bus and I didn't know, so I sat on the side when you first get in the bus, and I think it was meant for handicap, so the seats were higher. So anyway, I sat down and my feet were dangling. That kind of took the wind out of my sails. My dad got the biggest kick out of that. That was a story in our family forever. So anyway, so that brings back good memories for me. So now it's time to pick a new, well, I'll show you my other finished object. It's a half finished object. This is the other, this is the sock that was finished, the Beyond the Wardrobe sock. And it's hard to see here, but these are, it's like almost like a snowflake pattern. So it gives a very winter vibe. And then on the foot, it's just a smaller pattern. Yeah, very nice. Very easy to follow, well-written pattern. I was very impressed. Really enjoyed it. So I look forward to getting the second sock done. Okay. So now I will draw another crochet challenge. I can find them. Oh, there they are. No. Yep. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Should have made them a little bit smaller so I could shuffle them like a deck of cards. In case you don't watch Valerie's Cuddly Cat Crochet, I'll link her latest video. She just did a really big craft show, and she wasn't sure how she was going to do and how she was going to enjoy it. And it turned out she was very successful and really enjoyed it. So I'm very happy for her. I know craft shows, not my thing. I don't like people walking by, looking at me, judging me. I feel like I'm being judged. I don't know. And then you feel embarrassed when they don't buy. No. I've only ever done one craft show. I don't know if I said it on here before, but I made dream catchers. I love to make dream catchers, and I was going in a craft show, and I worked for weeks. I think I made about 80 dream catchers, and I was at this craft show all day from morning till late, like supper time. I sold one dream catcher. Oh, I was not happy about that. It was an eye-opener. I guess it just wasn't the market for it. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know that I'd ever do another. Well, I did a craft show at my daughter's school. I shouldn't say I would never. That wasn't bad. We did make our table fee and plus a little extra on that. My daughter sold leggings, and I sold some sewing items, some scrunchies and hair bands and some bags, and I had a couple crochet items as well. And that was all right. We did okay. Okay, let's see. I mixed them up enough. Take one out of the middle. Okay, let's see. What have we got? Crochet number 26. Crochet the smallest thing you have ever crocheted. Oh, okay. Well, I will have to find something small to crochet. I shall work on that this week. All right. So I guess that's the first thing in my plans. The next thing in my plans is to, like I say, work on the sock and the shawl and the sweater. I still haven't gotten back to my pillow, the Paul Harvest truck pillow. I haven't gotten back to that. I'd like to start that before winter. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay, so next we'll get into some cross stitching. I didn't do a whole lot of cross stitching this week, mostly because of all the shawl and the sock. But since our last video, I did do a couple things. Okay, so the first thing I did was, this is a free pattern by Hands On Design. It was a little stitch along a couple years ago. I don't know if the year is on here. I don't see it. It was 2 or 3 years ago. Oh yeah, 2022. Yeah, it's called The Costume Party. Very cute design. I did 120 stitches on that this week, and I'm just using the called for DMC colors, and I'm not sure what the fabric is. It's an Ada, but it's pretty stiff, but it kind of looks gray. I don't know. Anyway, it's coming along. I said I did 120 stitches. I'm not sure if I'll get it done this year. Halloween is a week from today. But that's okay. The WIPs can carry forward. As long as you're having fun doing them, right? This bag is by Darlene Deon Designs. I'll try and remember to link her below. Okay. Just making a note. Beautiful bag. Okay, this bag is by Evertote in London, Ontario. And this is the September sampler that was a collaboration between Maximum Cross Stitch and Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. This was, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2023. And I got 225 stitches done on that this time, and I'm just loving how it's looking. So I got most of this flower done. I think I got this basket done. And that's mostly been in some of this outline. This is another flower up here. The colors are gorgeous. Lovely fall colors. Like I said, the floss is by Roxy Floss. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And I also just got 20 stitches done this morning. This is Lilac. Let me see. She's just called Lilac. It's this part of the Spring Garden Party collection. It's just from 2009, so I don't know if I'll be able to get the beads for it or not, but if not, maybe I could just buy some beads. She's beautiful. And so I think I got just some work done around this area this morning. Yeah, I can see where I've left off here. So I just did in here this morning. I've never done a Marie-Elyse or Nora Corbett. This is my first, so I'm looking forward to getting her done. And look at these beautiful, beautiful colors. Purples and greens, just gorgeous. I think there's a couple more. Like a peachy color, a blue, some more greens. Very pretty. Okay, the final thing that I've worked on cross stitch wise, this is an idea that I got from the Crafty Toads, Helen and Mary Beth. You know, when you're finished a project and you have all this thread left, or even if you finish one color and you have, you know, a substantial piece of thread left, so instead of trying to put it back in with your stash or you know, throwing it out, then putting it in a scrap project. So I got this pattern from Long Dog Samplers. It's so pretty. It's called Plight of Fancy. So there's an opportunity to use any color that you want. The fabric I'm using is Seraphim Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Lori, and it's a 16 count Aida, and the colorway is called Eternal Flame. It's beautiful. There's the fabric. So I think I have enough, and so far I've just got some of the border and 2 letters done. So whenever I finish with the length of string floss, I take it out and I put it on a floss keeper in my living room by my chair, and to be added on here. So I'm trying to work on this on Sunday, like Scrappy Sundays. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see how that comes along. Yeah, I think that's it this week. I think if there's something else I wanted to say. I don't think so. Thank you again for everybody who's watched, liked, subscribed, commented. there's a few people who comment regularly, and I really enjoy that. It's lots of fun interacting with people. I'm looking forward to growing the channel more, you know, because it is a lot of fun. It is lots of fun to share what you love to do with others. Yeah, so that's it. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.